Peaceful doesn't mean that things aren't rambunctious or lively or hilarious at your house. It just means that you work toward being more peaceful and less reactive inside. That makes you a better role model for your children, and it helps them build a brain and nervous system that can self-regulate. No parent is peaceful all the time, but parents who want more peace in their families and in their own hearts find that 3 practices are invaluable. 1. A peaceful parent regulates his or her own emotions, even in the face of a child's strong emotions and misbehavior. That's what allows us to relate positively to our children, and to do so even when emotions run high. We can count on children behaving childishly at times, so we have the responsibility to act like grown-ups, which means not giving in to the temptation to throw tantrums ourselves. As parents, we always have the power to calm a child's storms, or to worsen them with our own response. How does the parent's commitment to regulate her emotions affect the sibling relationship? Since parents are the role model, you'll hear your child speak to his sister or brother using your words and tone of voice. Children of parents who regulate their emotions learn to manage their own feelings, and therefore their behavior, including toward their siblings. They can calm themselves more easily, so they fight less. They still get jealous, but they have more internal resources to manage their mixed feelings in a healthy way, so the affection has a chance to win out over the rivalry. 2. A peaceful parent prioritizes staying warmly connected to his or her child. Every child needs to feel heard, understood, and valued just for being himself, or he feels unsafe and he acts out. There's another huge benefit. Connection is what motivates children to follow our guidance. We can't really make anyone do something without using force, and that only lasts for as long as we have a substantial physical advantage. Our children have to choose to do what we say. That's why many parents experience life with their children as an endless series of bribes, threats, and power struggles just to get through the day. But when parents connect deeply with their child, the child wants to protect that relationship and is much more likely to follow their parents' guidance. So children who feel connected are more cooperative with parents. That's easier on the parents, of course, but also on any siblings who live in the home, because the child is more cheerful and emotionally generous. Finally, a child who feels connected to a parent is more likely to value what the parent values and follow the parent's modeling. That means she's more likely to act as her parent acts toward the sibling, so she's more likely to be nurturing, kind, and patient. 3. A peaceful parent coaches instead of controlling. What does it mean to coach instead of control? A coach teaches and supports a child to develop as his best self. A coach doesn't punish. He patiently creates opportunities for the child to grow and celebrates every step in the right direction. Children respond to coaching by wanting to try hard and to be like the coach. Controlling, on the other hand, is forcing a child to behave as you'd like by threatening punishment when she doesn't. That means that peaceful parents don't punish their children. Of course, they set limits, but that doesn't include punishment. I know that many people think strict parenting produces better behaved kids. It simply isn't true. Research studies on discipline consistently show that strict or authoritarian child raising actually produces kids with lower self-esteem who behave worse than other kids and therefore get punished more. The other problem with punishment is that if the child isn't actually choosing the behavior, he doesn't own it. He isn't intrinsically motivated to do what's right. When my daughter was 16, I interviewed her for a blog post about how she had learned to behave without ever having been punished. She said, "Either way, if you punish or not, the child learns not to hit. But if you're punishing to teach her, she learns not to hit so that she doesn't suffer. If you're using empathy to teach her, she learns not to hit because it hurts the other person. So she becomes a better person. She cares more about other people." So yes, it would be much more convenient if our children just obeyed us, but their need to choose their actions is actually a good thing. It's the beginning of taking responsibility for themselves. If you coach your child, you're helping him develop the skills and desire to be his best self more often. His motivation comes from inside. We'll talk throughout this book about how you can use empathy, teaching, and modeling to coach your child so he wants to cooperate, and you'll never need to punish again. And what about the effect of parental coaching instead of controlling on the sibling relationship? Research shows that parents who punish and control end up raising children who are more negative with each other because they've observed that the way to get others to do what they want is to use threats and force. They've paid attention to their parents after all. By contrast, peaceful parents coach children to master the interpersonal skills of conflict resolution, like learning how to get their needs met while still being respectful of the other person. So they're better at navigating the inevitable bumps of living with other people. Are peaceful parents always peaceful? Of course not. They're human. Like all humans, no parent is perfect. And regulating ourselves is the hardest emotional work we do, so it can be an uphill battle, despite our positive intentions. What distinguishes a peaceful parent is the commitment to self-regulation, connection, and coaching instead of controlling. That commitment changes our behavior one action at a time. Since the parent-child relationship is just a series of moments together, all those positive choices are cumulative. 2 steps forward, 1 step back still gets your family onto a more positive path. And before you know it, into a whole new landscape.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.